everybody. It is Safi and Marco dish out on the movies. And today we're talking about episode 7 of Fargo. And that title of the episode is Layaway. Okay, well, I don't know how to say this. I guess a lot happened or a little happened. It depends on how you look at it. But basically, everybody found out about the boy, Satchel, the African American boy, Loy's son, and they all think he's dead. Not all of them. The Italians believe that the rabbi took him, and nobody knows where they are, though. So nobody knows where they are. So the Loy's gang, they think he's dead because the bad boy, Josto,
Mustache Man,
he told them that they killed him, and the Irishman, they call him that too, couldn't save him in time. And the Italians also found out that the guy who was sent to kill Satchel had been shot dead. So we have a lot of we have one half of the equation, the African American gang, who thinks the kid is dead. All of them do. And then we have the other half, and I don't know, they must be so confused. They do know for a fact that Italian hit.
Well, let's get to the
Marco,
let's
please stop doing that.
Let's get to the review, Safi.
Well, okay. Well, as usual, I had severe issues with the lighting. I've just given up on the episode as a whole with the lighting because of what one of our commenters said, and then...
Well, I liked it. I liked this episode, and so stop.
Well,
stop attacking this perfect show that you just don't understand.
No, well, there's two parts of it that I'm just about ready to go and strangle the people who did the lighting. And they were clues as to what would follow after. One was the...
You should have put it in black and white like me, Safi.
Well, you couldn't read it either, even in black and white.
Oh, that was one instance in an entire episode, Safi.
Okay, well, the Italian guy with the burn on his face, they found out the boy and the Irishman are missing, okay? And so he goes to where they were living, and he looks in the Bible, and he finds a little piece of paper. And I couldn't read it at all. It was too dark. And Marco watched it in black and white, and he couldn't read it either. So what's the point?
I couldn't read it. I didn't see what it was. But that doesn't take away from the fact that this episode was really, 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 really good.
Well, I just didn't. I have issues with that. If you can't see the clue, how do you know what's going on? The only thing you can surmise is that it's a clue as to where they may have gone.
This episode was really good, Safi. It was really, really, really good.
Okay, and then...
Let's get to the analysis and stop just...
Well, that's an analysis of the lighting.
But you're just repeating everything that goes on in the episode and not actually talking about it like a reviewer.
Well,
and so
that's the way I do it.
That's not any way at all. I like this episode quite a bit. I would say that this episode was way better than the last couple of weeks. I would give this episode an A-. In all seriousness, I would give it an A-. And, part of the reason is simply for the fact that there weren't any agendas in this episode. I mean, it was a very story-based episode, and, everything felt natural. Nothing felt artificial, and like it was inserted there to fit any agenda. The only thing I didn't like was the credit card thing, where, as I predicted, by the way. Chris Rock discovers that the white man stole the credit card idea from him, or so he thinks. And I knew that was going to happen because of how predictable they played that whole storyline. It was a stupid storyline. It should be just cut out. Like, it really has nothing to do with anything that goes on. Maybe it's just a sign of doom. Like, it's just a giant sign of, saying that they're going to lose, the Black Gang. They're going to lose, in my opinion. And so that could have been the reason. But still, I didn't like that. I thought it was stupid. I thought it was a complete waste of time. But other than that, I think this episode was really good. And as I've said about 20 times already. But another reason is the fact that it did what I wanted to do. Nurse Mayflower kills someone in the first scene, and that was very satisfying. And then the Mormon Marshal, Dickie! That's what I call him. That's what I call him now. He had a great scene, and I can't wait to see him just kill everyone in sight, because he's just on another level. I mean, a lot of the characters in the previous seasons are very overreactive. They make these decisions in a split second, and they don't realize the complications they'll have. But with this Marshal, he, on the other hand, is a very patient person, and he waits things out, and so I really like him for that, and I think that I can't wait to see him destroy these people. All these people, all the criminals. I'm not just talking about one gang or the other. And then also, I would have to say that Mustache Man gave a great performance in that one scene. He did a great job. It made me wish that he had been doing such a good job the rest of the season. He gave a great performance, and he was very convincing, and he just did a great job with that little scene. Him and Chris Rock. And then, of course, Chris Rock, he's back to doing his usual shtick, which is putting on a dumb, serious voice and just being like, I'm a serious guy now, man. I'm serious, and you're gonna have to take me seriously, because I'm in the serious part, man. And it's like this terrible, like, fake and phony impression of, like, a serious character. And I really think that but still, I really liked the episode, and him, and then the credit card thing would be my only critiques. What do you have to say, Safi? Do you have anything of substance to say?
Yes, Marco.
Good.
First of all, the credit card thing, I just wanted to emphasize, Kansas City is in the middle of the country. In Missouri and Kansas, it shares both. We even have a road called State Line, which incorporates both cities, okay? And the credit card thing is a national thing. It's not the banker. I really seriously doubt if the local banker he went to stole the idea. I mean, he may think that, but it was a national thing.
That's the implication.
It was like American Express or some other, I think it was the Diners Club card. That is a national, that's not a Kansas City thing. The thing with Kansas City, it's in the middle of the country, and any trend, any new thing comes to it after it's already been on the coast, okay?
But Safi, you know perfectly well.
Well, I know that's why that was put in there, for him to get this put down. And also,
Safi,
like Marco said, it could be a sign of doom for them.
That's the way that I choose to see it, because I think that makes it better overall.
Yeah. Well, let's see what else.
The
other lighting thing with the nerfs was the kitchen. Now, we may not have known what she put in it, but she had powder, and she was sprinkling it on the food, which it made an excellent cookie. It really looked good. I hate those cookies, but anyway.
Is that her actually doing it?
Yes. And then the thing is, I think they've made a mistake, because I could be wrong, but she keeps all the poisons in that closet area. And if she'd gone in there, wouldn't she have seen that maybe the box where the diary could be is in there? And then the other thing, the implication is she did kill somebody, and it was a slow, agonizing death. And that was all played out very well, by the way. The whole scene, it was really good. And she wanted to see that letter, which he kept in his desk drawer, and she did look at it. So she sees that diary. What's the implication? The handwriting in the diary is going to match the handwriting in the letter. But who knows if they'll do anything with it. It'll be interesting. And then the marshal sitting out in the car, observing everything is interesting. He did come out, and there was a scene where he talked to Otis, the twitchy, I'll call him the twitchy cop.
The nervous cop, Safi.
Well, he's twitchy and nervous, and he has PTSD, cop. Apparently. But anyway...
The nervous cop, Safi. That's his name.
Oh, well, he's also Otis. And he said, you better choose a side because you can't be on all the sides. And and I know what you're doing, and
it's basically like if you've ever played the video game Fallout. Safi hasn't because she's a boomer.
I don't like those games he plays. I've played other video
Okay,
games,
boomer.
not those.
Okay, boomer. But it's basically like in Fallout when basically in the Fallout games you can choose to side with all these different factions, and a smart person, they play like 75% of the game on their own, and then near the end they side with the faction and they become a part of, because you can play all sides. But then, like, as the game gets closer and closer to the end, people will start saying, which side are you on? You can't be on that, you can't be doing this where you're playing all sides. And it's like it reminded me of that, where it's like, uh-oh, I gotta choose a side now, or else the game's gonna be screwed up and I won't be able to, it could get, I played a game, New Vegas, and I actually had to restart the game because no sides trusted me, even though I tried to fix it to where it would work out, but it just didn't. And so I got the same type of vibe from this storyline where this nervous cop, I don't know. We talked about an idea. I kind of am saddened the fact that, we came up with a sort of idea where the nervous cop, the rabbi, and a couple of other wild card characters would start their own gang. And to me, I really like that idea. I wish that they would do that, because I think that these two major gangs are trash, and I think that both of them suck. Both of them are terrible. Was that some sort of a signal, Safi?
No.
Okay. I think just both of them are terrible. Don't you agree, Safi?
Well, they're too full of themselves, and they don't make the right decisions. They may look right and to them, but this thing with the little boy and let's see, Josto, mustache boy, what he did, he took a huge gamble right in front of the New York guy, and the New York guy was appalled. You could tell. I don't know his name because he's just not on there often enough. He's down below on the cast list, but he didn't know that they had tried to kill the boy or anything about it. So he doesn't even know that he's still alive. He thinks he's dead too, because Josto told Loy that he was dead and that the Irishman couldn't save him. So he was there in the room. It was just him and the New York guy. And the New York guy wanted to make all kinds of negotiations because he'd just come from New York and they had all his offerings. And then he finds out this other stuff, and the look on his face was unbelievable.
Okay, back to the review portion of this episode, if we ever get to review the episode. I really thought that was a great storyline. I thought that some people I saw on IMDb said that this episode's spinning its wheels again. I completely disagree.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, really? You have a thought about the episode?
Well, I don't think, Marco,
Oh,
I don't think they were spinning its wheels at all.
I
Just
know.
they're furthering along storylines that's going to get them all killed, no matter who they are.
Well, it was a different kind of attack. Instead of shooting people, raping and doing all that crap that we usually see in these crappy exploitation type of gangster movies, instead of doing that crap, they do a different kind of attack, which is basically to make them think that something happened. I thought that was really effective. They did the same kind of thing on Breaking Bad when they faked Jesse's death, and they did all that. It was the same type of thing to trick Heisenberg. And so I thought that, and it was funny because Chris Rock, his character is so trash. I mean, this episode especially, I mean, he's whipping his own man for no reason. He's whipping him with a belt. And it's like, if I was that guy, I would go over to the Italians. Because, I mean, I don't understand this whole... it's a concept that's repeated in a lot of these types of films and TV shows where it's like, oh, I'm the leader, so I have the right to abuse you. And it's like, in the real world, you'd think that people would say F you because, I mean, Chris Rock, he's just a terrible leader. I mean, if you were in Chris Rock's gang, you wouldn't feel safe at all. And you wouldn't want to stay loyal to Chris Rock. Now, Chris Rock's wife, on the other hand, is really good. In fact, there was a scene with her, which I think was the standout scene of the episode, while Safi is busy looking at birds off in another world.
No, I'm listening to what you're saying, and I agree with you. That scene with Chris Rock's wife was perfect. In fact, she was better. She had a very small part in this episode, but it was really good. And what was Chris Rock? He had this, I think he has a speech in every episode. And the speech he made, and Marco brought out the fact that it was his tone of voice that made it bad. And you can't take him seriously. If he used his natural stand-up voice, which is, he could probably whip somebody to death with his stand-up voice. It's very sharp and strong. And if he would use that voice to talk and say these speeches instead of the pretend thing that he's not and he can't seem to achieve, except when he's dealing with his wife and his mother-in-law, he would be so much better.
I agree. I really think, and I was watching another movie with him in it, and it's like he gave a great little. It's like how is this possible that he's doing such a bad job? It's because of the voice, and because of the faces that he makes. I mean, when he finds out about his son's death, he says, "Get out!" Like get out. That shitty race bait movie, and then he makes this face where he's like. Remember that, Safi? Remember where he's like this? He's like...
I don't know. I don't think I could watch him. I just turned away because he just... It was so half-hearted.
He makes this face and it's like...
He would do so much better. You could use your stand-up because you do really heavy criticisms of things, which a lot of stand-up do. It's part of their act. And you can bite somebody's head off with your stand-up voice. Why do you use that?
He's a good actor, and so I just don't understand why for this show he's doing this. Oh, I'm a serious character in this show.
You can still be serious.
It's a joke.
You can bite somebody's head off with a smile on your face, and he can do it.
Well, you have like Nurse Mayflower. And, she's Nurse Ratched.
And she can bite somebody's head off with her voice, but it's a different kind of thing.
And she has some goofy things about her, too. But the difference is that with her acting is so much better, and so you take her a lot more seriously. Whereas with Chris Rock, he's just so phony. But I really liked this episode, and I thought it was funny at the end. I was actually excited because I want to see more of Mario again. And I know that sounds hilarious, like I was just visited by 3 Fargo ghosts last night or something. like a Fargo carol or something, but no, it's the fact that like Mario, I know that now that he actually really is an important character, just in terms of power. And so in the next episodes, he's gonna do some bad things, and he's more of a cutthroat, action first type of guy. And so I want to see more of that in these last few episodes, because this whole season has just been a very slow build-up, I would say so. I mean, there's just been lots of sequences where it's like, does this really need to be that long? Like the thing with Mario, and when he's dancing in the street, and then he eats a sundae, and he's like, "You Americans, you have a female Jesus, and you Americans suck. Everything's so much better in Italy." And like that's all he does. And it's like, do we really need to just do that over and over and over and over again? It's like, you can have lots of tension, but if you get to the point of where the tension goes on for episodes and episodes, there's no more tension, because you just don't care anymore.
Well, it dissipates, actually.
Yeah, and with this episode, it actually increased my excitement because of the fact that they made that very strong strategic move of letting the Chris Rock know that his son is dead, quote unquote, which basically he would be if the smoking face guy, the tall Calamita guy, I have to come up with a good nickname for him. But if he finds them and kills them, I mean, he will be dead, but we know he's going to survive and become, Mr. Season 2, everyone's favorite character. I'm glad that he changes his name, because Satchel is a really shitty name.
Well, it's kind of country.
And so, what would you rate this episode, Safi? You never even gave your rating.
Well,
Did you just forget about it? Oh, okay.
Yeah, give it a B because of those two. Well, I don't know if we would have known, even if we could see it clear enough. And I don't know how anybody could cook in that darkened room, the kitchen. But we may not have known what the powder was. They may not have shown the bottle or anything, because really they focused a lot on her hand and sprinkling. It just looks, she's sprinkling like it was a spice or salt and pepper or something, something like that. And then the other one, now that really, really made me mad, because it was just so dark. You could barely see a line, and you couldn't even read the line.
I think the show actually looks really good in black and white.
Well,
it looks really, really, really good. It looks probably, I would say, like the best show of the year in terms of the look, in my opinion. If you put it in black and white, like it should be, it looks way better than all the other shows we watched this year. So.
Whatever. And then I was really, Chris Rock, please don't make your voice, it's too late. If you ever do something like this again, don't be disingenuous, okay?
Well, it's unfortunate, because he also did that Saw movie, that Saw 10 or 11, called Spiral, and I think that he was doing the same thing in that one too, from the look of the trailer, and so I think that that's unfortunate. The fact that he's trying to do this serious man turn, and it's like, you can still be a serious man and have that levity type of personality that he usually has. He doesn't have to just be this like, I'm gonna be a serious man now, and oh yeah, I didn't realize I'm referencing a Coen Brothers movie. You know, he's a serious man now, but you know, you don't have to do that. But yeah, anything else? I would say that I'm glad that those women are leaving. The the little kids playing dress up. You know, the outlaws. I'm glad that they're gonna leave town, quote unquote, because then I saw the trailer for next episode. And then other than that, I really like the stuff with the nervous cop, because instead of making him like this really evil, bad, cartoony stereotype like other characters on the season, I really like how well-rounded he is, and I like how he continues to just have better and better scenes for every episode.
Yeah, that was very sad because I thought his goose was cooked, so to speak, before this episode, that he was between a rock and a hard place, and between two murderous gangs isn't a place you want to be. And so I think he's doomed for sure. Well, I think a lot of the people on the show are doomed for sure. My only hope is that Loy and his wife find out that their son had not been killed. I don't know how they're going to do that.
They don't deserve that.
I do.
F them.
Well, I don't want to say that.
Why?
Because I just don't believe in that.
They're horrible,
they
evil people.
All of those people were not in with this killing of a child.
But
Maybe
Rabbi,
some of them,
but Rabbi said, you know, I'm not taking you to Chris Rock's house. You know,
Yeah.
F that.
Yeah.
You know, he's just in a spiral of death. Speaking of spiral,
Yeah, they're all headed for doom.
The black gang, yeah. The Italians are going to wipe them out.
Italians, but they'll win out because I lived there and I know they did.
I would make the prediction that there's not going to be another major Italian character who dies,
I don't believe it. I don't agree.
Except for either Mustache Man or Mario.
Well, yeah.
Either of them.
Yeah.
No one else Italian is going to die. The only people who die are going to be the black gang, because they're trapped. You have New York on the Italian side.
Yeah, but I don't know if they'll let him get away with that, what he's done.
They could just send an army of Italians over to massacre the black gang. And so I don't think I think all the black characters are going to die, except for the kid. That'd be my prediction.
Well, I don't.
I
think New York is going to be very upset about what Josto has done, because if that guy finds out that he didn't get killed, that they were lying about that. Well, he was lying, Josto, about the kid getting killed. The Irish guy couldn't save him, and then they can't find him, and that's all. Well, they can't find him, and he didn't get killed. That was all a lie, and it was to stir something up.
Well, it was a good strategy, in my opinion.
Nothing, but they didn't fall for it.
They did.
That's what.
But they fell for it because they let Mario go, and that has to be one of the stupidest decisions on this entire season.
The guy too, who was with Chris Rock, I don't know what his name is. He thought he was insane.
You let Mario go?
I would never. He said I would never do that. Never.
Mario's gonna come back and he's gonna jump on your head.
And he's untrustworthy, and he wants to kill.
It's me, I'm Mario. I'm here to fight with Chris Rock and step on his head. Boing! Chris Rock is dead. His character might as well just kill himself before they come and kill him. But the one thing I was confused about was, and I forgot to bring this up, in the funeral home when the black gang move in all their stuff, what was inside the coffin?
I don't know. I was
So
wondering.
you don't know.
I thought we would see that.
So that's another lighting problem.
In the next...
was that the ghost?
No, they never showed.
Was that the zombie?
It could have been the ghost.
I don't understand.
No, that was something too. And, I thought they were going to show in the next scene it was like one of the Italians, or it was the marshal, although I can't see him doing that. I don't know who else it would be. But
Marshall's
yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
The marshal is too badass to climb inside of a coffin unless he's put there permanently.
Well, he likes, actually, his favorite thing is just to sit out in the car.
He just loves sitting out in the car. Like, I'm surprised too that like he hasn't brought his stupid Mormon Bible to read all the time. Like, you know, just sit there reading
he hasn't memorized.
Oh yeah, he hasn't.
Need to bring it. He hasn't memorized. He quotes all these. Of course, it's his
cool,
lines.
Though. It's cool though because, like, we saw Hell on Wheels with the Mormon characters in that, and to me, they were some of the worst characters ever, and they were not convincing as Mormons on Hell on Wheels. But to me, I'm really convinced that this guy is Mormon by just, he's doing a great job with the acting.
Yeah,
in my opinion. So
he is, and he doesn't really get that much time in the shows. He usually gets one scene. It's always pared down to eating carrots and saying a couple lines. This time he had a whole spiel.
It was so hilarious when they had a close up of his face, and he was like, "You want to go in, guns ablaze?" And he had this like look of like he's just trolling this nervous cop, like he's just totally bullshitting, and the nervous cop is just sitting there like like the nervous cop is about to have a panic attack at some point.
Well, he should be, because he's about to be murdered.
So yeah, overall this was a really good episode. So
all right, well,
what should people do?
Hey everybody, please like and subscribe, and also give a comment. Either Marco or I will look at it. Probably mostly Marco, because this is one of the few things he has to do. But anyway, we would really appreciate anything you have to say. And don't forget to like and subscribe.
Or dislike, that'll help us too.
Okay.
So,
bye everybody.
Goodbye.